What's up guys, in this we are going to see about what is a stack. So a stack is a simple data structure used for storing data which is very similar to a linked list. In stack, the order in which the data arrives is very important. You can consider the pile of plates at a cafeteria as a good example of stack. The plates are added to the stack as they are cleaned. They are placed on the top, right? So as the plates are cleaned, they are placed at the top. When a plate is required, it is taken from the top of the stack. The first plate placed on the stack is the last one to be out. So a stack is an ordered list in which insertion and deletion are done at one end, called as top. The first element inserted is the first one to be deleted. Sorry, the last element inserted is the first one to be deleted. Hence, it is also called as last in first out, or LIFO, right? So special names are given to the two changes that can be made to a stack. When an element is inserted in a stack, the concept is called as a push, and when an element is removed from the stack, the concept is called as a pop. There's one more which we say it as a peak, whether like when we want to see what is at the top of the stack but not remove, it is called as a peak, right? So you basically peek into a stack. So let's move into the implementation of stack collection in Java. So what I'm going to do is inside this list package, I'm going to create a new class and I'm going to name this as stack demo. And once I create a class, I'm going to create a main method using PSVM. This is a shortcut or short form for public static void main, right? Inside IntelliJ, you can do that as well. PSVM, just type PSVM and you'll have your main method. So without wasting time, I'm going to create a stack, right? And this time I'm going to create a stack of integer. I'm going to say that this is numbers and I'm going to have, initialize it, right? So this is inside java.util package and we have here stack. So let's go into this class. So if you go into this class, this basically extends vector. It doesn't actually implements any of the interfaces, right? So it's basically just extends vector. So a stack is a derived class from the vector and it has its own method which is push, and then we have pop as well as we have peek, right? And we have an empty. So we are going to see about this, don't worry, right? There are 5 methods in total, I believe. Yes, so let's go one by one. So the first thing first, what you need to do is you need to insert an element into a stack. So how do you do that? So as I said, we use push, right? And I'm going to push the value as 2. Again, I'm going to again push one more number, which is, I'm going to call this as 4. Again, I'm going to, push the method and I'm going to call as 6. So let's use s out and I'm going to, say that stack is, let's say, numbers. So even if you don't use toString, it's still fine because this is in the end converting into a string, right? So in the previous example, I was doing something like this, right? So rather than, I'll just keep it like this, numbers. Also, let's see, you know, the peak, or rather, what is at the top, right? So what is at the top? You can do a peak, right? So if I do the peak, you'll get what is at the top. Also, you can remove the top element, right? So to remove a top element, what you can do is you can do something like pop, right? So pop will actually remove the top of the element. I'm going to use an s out and I'm going to again print numbers. So I'm going to format this up. So stack is, I'm going to have plus here, right? You can also check s out. So I'm going to say is stack empty, is stack empty. You can do that using an empty method here. So I'm going to have numbers dot empty and you can do that. So let's run this code, guys. So we have created a stack of integers. I have pushed some of the numbers here, and if you see here, the stack is 246. What is at the top of the stack, which is 6, because this is the last element we inserted into the stack. So 6 is at the top, then we have 4, and then at the bottom we have 2, right? And then if you want to remove the element, I did a pop operation here. So once I do the pop operation, the element 6 has been removed, and my new stack only has 2 comma 4. So I'm going to check whether the stack is empty. No, it's not empty. We still have 2 elements, right? Also, there is one more method we checked out, which is called as, search method, right? So numbers dot, search. Let's say that I want to search 6, which we did a pop operation. And if you run this code, you will get the output as, the -1, because 6 is not present. So if you go into this method, this is actually returning an integer value. And if that method is, if the object is present inside a stack, it will return the position of that element inside a stack. If it's not return, it will, if it's not present, it will actually return -1. So this is very important, right? So let's say that what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an if condition, and you want to check whether certain object contains inside a stack. If it contains, do some operation. So what you can do is numbers.search. Let's say I'm going to have a valid number, right? The object 2, right? As it is returning integer, I don't want it to be -1, right? So if the stack has this number, I want the s out to be, yeah, yeah, 2 is present, or rather, yeah, the number is present. So let's run this code, and you will notice as 2 is present, it should actually run this block of code, right? So it actually says, yeah, the number is present. So this is all about stack really is, you know, but as we have seen, the stack provides this stack class actually provides the direct implementation of the stack data structure. However, it is not recommended to use this stack class. Instead of that, you should use array_dq, right? So array_dq actually, you know, let's I'll explain you why we should actually use array_dq. So if you go inside this array_dq method, it actually extends the abstract collection, and then it implements the deque interface. So it has more methods, it has more, methods for manipulating the data. So it is not recommended to use the stack class if you want to do, these operations. So when we see the queue data structure, we are going to see about this array_dq. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to come up with a new concept. Till then, goodbye and see you.